Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I wanted to talk about a very important topic. And that is a big problem that happens to a great many of those that have been narcissistically abused. And that is becoming extremely avoidant. Now I'm not necessarily talking about avoidant personality disorder. Although some of the things we are going to talk about today might actually fit someone that has such a problem. And the reason why I say this might not have to do exactly with avoidant personality disorder is there tends to be more extremes with some of those that have such a disorder that you might not find with someone that is what I call hyper-avoidant but doesn't full-on have such a disorder or problem. One such problem that classic avoidants have is jerking around the feelings of those that actually care about them. And even though this person or people have done nothing wrong to this avoidant, the avoidant might abandon such people or cut them out of their life, simply based on emotion and how they feel at the moment. Meaning, the love is too much. But yet they might want that love. And because of these mixed emotions, they don't know what to do, so they short circuit and abandon such a relationship. And they can do the same pattern with the same person over and over and over and over and over, until it begins to also ruin the life of the person they are doing this to. And though this is sad to say, and likely this person developed this disorder or pattern of loving due to the abuse they suffered. This disorder is toxic for others to deal with, because it seems there are tons of people that are torn apart by such behaviors. And it seems very similar to how some have been destroyed by a narcissist. Because an avoidant, a true avoidant, can throw away someone they care about and someone that cares about them in the blink of an eye just as fast as a narcissist can. And we've talked about here, it's not your job to try to figure people out. You aren't going to get a diagnosis out of someone. They might be avoidant. They might be a narcissist. It's not up to you. If someone is treating you like a human yo-yo, move on. For your own health and well-being, move on. But this isn't what we are talking about. Well, not exactly. We are talking about how narcissistic abuse can make you avoidant to certain things and even certain people in life. Now you might not act like a stone-cold person that doesn't care. It's actually quite the opposite. Even being avoidant might make you feel ashamed and guilty from not partaking in a particular event. And you might never go to the extreme of never talking to this person or group of people ever again. But you might say no to certain things or meetups. One of the main reasons why I believe a great many of those that were narcissistically abused do this is for two main reasons. Number one, their fear of judgment. I remember growing up, because my mother was always having one medical emergency after the next. Some imagined and others real. Real to some degree anyways. She would offload myself and my golden child brother onto complete strangers for months at a time. It was weird. We were just told to pack up and we were going to stay with this family for a while. In some cases these were people we barely knew. And when in such homes, the adults would ask us, myself and my golden child brother, a series of very uncomfortable questions about our home life. It was like we were constantly being quizzed. And it didn't seem to come from a place of care and love, but a way to put us on the spot and make us feel less than. And this seemed to be the theme of my life growing up. Even when I wasn't in such a situation. Even when I was a young teen and hanging out with friends at their homes. It never seemed to fail. The adults would always seem to zero in on me and start to ask me some really weird questions. Like I was being put on trial or something. And it's important to note, when I would be in such environments, I would always be extremely polite. I would always say please and thank you. When I was asked what I wanted to drink, I was never picky. I would usually say, water is fine. Or I would drink whatever soda they were offering to others in the home. I wouldn't overeat. And I couldn't even if I wanted to. Because my stomach was so nervous from the stress of just being there. It seemed like I was always on trial just for my mere existence. Everywhere I turned I was being judged for something, when everyone else seemed like they were just allowed to be. At least that's what it felt like anyways. So judgment, or should I say, unfair hyperjudgment, is a big reason why a great many that were narcissistically abused become avoidant to some degree. I mean, think about it. If you are being put down your entire life, you are always made to feel defective or less than. And there is no praise. No job well done. Or, I know you tried your best and it didn't work out. Let's help you figure out what went wrong so you can try again. You see, I've said before and I will say again. Family is a gift from God. And it's a gift of protection. Because not everyone in this world means you well. But you are supposed to be able to depend on your family to actually love you and have your back. Now, the other day I talked about how most narcissistic abuse victims aren't envious people. And it's very true. At least for me. Even though I grew up with very little, financially and otherwise. If a friend of mine or someone I knew ended up with something really cool, I was always really happy for them. And one of those things was how their family seemed to always be a help to them and their growing up process. Now, though, I wasn't envious. Because envious is feeling like, why do they have it and I don't, kind of thinking. And I never for some reason ever felt such feelings at all. But I did daydream of what it was like having parents that actually loved me. I was never mad at those I knew that had loving parents. And I never wished they didn't have such love. But I did daydream about having that protection and love for myself. Because you see, having this group of people behind you can make you feel like you can do anything. If you fail, so what? Your mom or dad gives you a pep talk. And they tell you it's okay, you lost. But let's get back to the drawing board and we'll figure it out together. And I think people can smell it on you when you don't have that kind of protection or that kind of family love. And they think they can then treat you any way they would like. When I got older, I thought to myself, what grown adult would grill a 7-year-old kid about their life in order to try to find a defect in there somewhere? I mean, if these people felt like there was something wrong with my mother, why make me feel bad about it? But when you have no one to fight for you, or to stick up for you, there are some people in the world that feel like they can act this way. And when this happens over and over and over and over again, you start to associate any and all get-togethers or social interactions as all ending up the same way. Now here's the thing. They can. Because we as narcissistic abuse survivors might not branch out and truly get involved in things that make our light shine the brightest. And the reason why is most people that grew up this way are oftentimes behind in almost all metrics of life. And we are busy trying to play catch up. But when this weird spell of judgment is broken, meaning you do get involved with something you are good at, maybe you are a good artist, and you start drawing and entering competitions. And though there can be bad people in all circles, you have for the most part a positive experience. I mean, you walk away each and every time feeling good and not drained. But when you get together with, let's say, your neighbor and their group of friends, it seems like the focus always shifts to you and you are being judged for something. About your job. About the direction your life is going, and on and on and on. And the problem is, if there is nothing good to compare this to or balance it out somehow, we think all situations will be like this and all things will turn out the same, with us being judged. So what happens? We turn down chances and opportunities to do wonderful things, and to be around people that really do appreciate us. Which brings me to the second reason why I believe those that have been narcissistically abused become to some degree avoidant. And that is because we are afraid the love we are being given will be taken away. Taken away like it has been with all of the situations in our life. And I believe this is a big problem. Okay. So you had a narcissist parent or parents. Which is bad enough as it is. But then you meet someone that you truly love and someone that you think truly loves you. But guess what? They never loved you because they are a narcissist as well. And before you know it, you feel like you are living in the darn Truman Show, where everyone is an actor. Actors that are just reading from a script and they care nothing about you. You see, it's very common. Once one comes to terms about what has happened in their life, regarding to being narcissistically abused, that you realize you've been surrounded by these evil beings your entire life. And most of the people around you are actors. People that don't care. People that use your pain and stories of your misfortune as narcissistic supply. And when you realize this sad fact, you recoil away from people and situations, and rightfully so. But staying stuck so long, it's like a person that has been in prison most of their life. They become institutionalized, where normalcy scares them. Look, the only one that you can truly rely on is Jesus Christ. But what has me always to some degree thinking about this and self-checking myself on this topic, is if I throw away the chance to live my life fully by not taking certain life chances, I'm letting the narcissists that were in my life and the narcissistic abuse win. Now I do think there are a lot of situations out there that aren't worth going to, as they are superficial, fake, and are often places where people dig into people's lives and judge them as a result. But there are other instances where you might be surprised. You might be more than welcome. You see, narcissist parents especially don't want you to have a better life than what they had. Because even though there is also a golden child, they weren't and they aren't happy people. Because growing up as the golden child, they have to literally throw their lives away to live the way the narcissist parent wants them to live and do what is best for the narcissist parent, not themselves. And yes, these golden children oftentimes will resent their narcissist parent or parents. And this is a reason why a great many narcissist parents die alone. Because the scapegoat is gone and so is the golden child. Now this doesn't mean to become friends with the golden child. Because likely they are a narcissist and they will turn on you as fast as a rattlesnake. But I just wanted to illustrate. They aren't happy either. Because just like the narcissist parent set out to sabotage your life, they in a different way went about the same goal with their golden children. And part of that sabotage is you not creating a secure situation for yourself. You see, if you grew up with really good loving parents, and you went over to a friend's house when you were kids, and the parents of that house grilled you like you were a common criminal, and you went back home and told your mom or dad about such happenings, the chances are, they would never let you go over there again. And they would create places where you could go and excel and develop healthy self-worth. But if you have a narcissist mother or father, they want you to keep going and going and going to these places and around people that strip away any self-confidence you may have, and any self-worth you may have in who you are. Even as an adult, I can't help at times being wary and on my best behavior when I go to certain places. Not just to be polite to people, but because how I was subjected to being put in one situation after another where I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I was pretty much told so on a regular basis. And this goes back to feeling like that love that does come your way will be taken away sooner or later. Because that has been your experience. Meaning you finally met someone that doesn't make you feel anxious and scared. Someone that treats you with love and kindness. Then out of the blue they reveal it was all a lie and they never meant it. This is truly a devastating experience. And so you don't have to feel such pain. People avoid. But this is where I remind myself that Jesus loves me. This is why I don't put my faith in people and how they are going to treat me, but how Jesus Christ is going to treat me. And I think having this in your life will shine through for others to see. And if they do take their love away, so what? So what? See it as God loving and protecting you. God seeing you as precious and highly favored. And keep moving forward. Look. I've found there are a lot of people in life that aren't worth dealing with at all. There are a lot of people that are caught up in whatever the masses are thinking and feeling. And just like in the Matrix movie, these people can be as dangerous as agents and can't be trusted. But I've met some people that were wonderful. But no matter how wonderful they are, I never trust them as much as I trust Jesus Christ. Remember, God is the father or parent to the orphan. Let's say you had a great mom and great dad. Would you trust someone that wasn't your mom and dad the same way you trust your mom and dad? Likely not. And that's how I started looking at certain people and situations. These people aren't Jesus Christ. However, these people can earn my trust to some degree over time. And it's perfectly fine if I protect myself. Because this self-protection is important. In case this person does something that humans do and go with whatever evil thing life tells them to do. And I realized, if I have healthy boundaries and protection, I can see such happenings and they will have less of an effect upon myself and my life. It doesn't mean I don't feel bad about someone behaving badly towards me. But with this protection, it's easier to move on and live my life. Because that's what the narcissist doesn't want for you. To live your life. Being avoidant is not only a sad effect of being narcissistically abused, but I believe it's a desired result pre-planned by the narcissists in your life. Simply because they don't want you to have a life. Something to think about. Well, that's all I have for today. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.